Hello everybody, my name is Aud and welcome back to the Aud Narrations channel, the channel where we read and react to the best Reddit stories. Today on Aud Narrations, the first story we'll be reading is titled, "My ex cheated on me and left me for this girl, but keeps harassing me." As always, if you enjoy these videos and want to see more, make sure to hit the subscribe button, that way you won't miss the latest upload. Alrighty, let's make a start. The post reads, "New account just in case he's still stalking my main. My ex and I, mid-20s, have been dating for almost 5 years. He left the country for a job. We lived in France, and I was supposed to follow him a few months later after the end of my contract. Before leaving, he was talking about marriage and promised me that we'll get married once I followed him. During the first 2 weeks, he was talking about this girl at work who was flirting with him. At the beginning, he told her that he had his girlfriend, but she kept doing things like making him pinky promise and coming with her to the club. And he did go, but he told me he went with other co-workers. After that day, he asked me to help him redo his wardrobe, to teach him some words in the mother tongue of that girl, without me knowing that it was about her, and then out of the blue starts telling me that it was hard for him to be in FaceTime and every excuse not to speak with me, and then he stops responding for like 3 days. By that time I had a feeling like everything was starting to make sense, and I found out he'd liked the pictures of this girl wearing a bikini on Instagram, the photos she deleted after being with him. So I tried to confront him, and he denied telling me that it was just a friend and he likes talking to her, but I insisted and he told me. You don't need to know the truth, you already know. So I knew that during this 3 days he cheated on me, and when I told him I was done with him, he told me, "Please just wait 2 weeks and I'll be yours again. I just need 2 weeks with this girl and I'll be your man again." Oh my god. The audacity is insane. Run is what I would advise here. I blocked him and went no contact, but at the beginning he was telling me things like, "I'm going to kill myself." So I came back, but she was still into him, and so when he knew she was okay to date him, he stops responding, and then not even 1 week later, he posted her on Instagram. He's never posted me on Instagram. And I was done. So I went no contact because the trauma was too hard to take, but since then he's kept harassing me. He sent me emails with at least 5 email addresses. He called me with 3 different numbers. He created 3 fake Instagram accounts asking me not to block him and because he has something to tell me. He even tried to add my friends on Instagram. And just a few days ago, he sent me 3 long emails with new email addresses telling me that because of me he can't sleep and that he wants to meet up with me because he's coming back to the country for a few days, and that he can't stop thinking about me and that I'm his best friend and I'll always be his friend and that I'm perfect and he will never find someone like me. He misses our conversations. It's hard for him to see that I blocked him everywhere and that I'll find a better man, but I'll not find better conversations because our conversations were the best. And not to be worried about the fact that he thinks about me every day because he does think about me and he'll wait for a response. He told me he would stop with the harassment, but sent me an email 2 days after and he never apologized for what he did. Instead he told me, "You know it would have happened one day." Whoa, yeah, double run. I never responded to anything, not even once. He's still dating the girl he cheated on me with, and still posted her on Instagram. Our mutual friend told me because I sent him the emails, and he just told me that he's a disrespectful piece of shit for doing this while being in a relationship. I honestly don't know what to do. It's been a month of him sending me messages, and I can't heal. It's already hard to move on from him doing what he's doing. Yeah. I mean, you're doing the right thing. Steer well clear of this kind of behavior. This sort of like trying to keep you in the scene, but not like a main act, if that makes sense. He's like trying to keep you on the back burner. He's trying to make you the backup plan, effectively, and it's not on at all. It's not on. I would do exactly what you're doing. Steer clear. Fuck this guy. Right, let's see what the community says. Someone's left a comment saying, "Wow, what a piece of work. Just ignore him until he gets tired. It'll take longer to heal, but use that as a reason to never take this loser back." Someone else has left a comment saying, "He wants to clear his conscience. He wants your forgiveness, which will give him peace of mind, and if possible, he wants you to fill the vacation as an affair partner when he comes to your country. Do not give him anything. He is nothing to you. Do not answer. My cheating, first everything boyfriend wanted to contact me through mail. Friends, you name it. I left my city thanks to my new career, and I went no contact. But I must admit, at some point, I thought I would get cancer. I ended up with ulcers, I was stubborn, didn't react. Well, until I went to visit my hometown and I was out with my friends, and he came to the same pub, saw me, and wanted to talk. I should have said no. The thing is, I never confronted him about the cheating. He had a thing going on with his BFF. She also had a boyfriend then. Technology was not so developed, so I had no concrete proof, but I could see them having a thing, at least emotionally. I knew if I would confront, he would gaslight me. He was a toxic person. His wrongdoings had pent up, so I just ghosted him, and that was it. At the pub, he had one of the cheesiest monologues I've ever heard. He was a wannabe writer, so I'm 100% sure he prepared his speech, just in case. He told me I was the most intelligent, beautiful person he's ever met. He was so lucky to have me, but he blew all of it. He said he felt guilty of how he treated me. I remember I felt no anger, no pain, no love, nothing. Maybe just a bit of annoyance. He talked for a good amount of time, and I said, "Now you have your closure, right? I need to return to my friends. I still wish I didn't meet him and didn't give him a chance to deliver that shitty excuse. So don't give him that chance. He lost his privileges. Block and move on. If people ask, you tell them you're not compatible because you are not a cheater. You deserve better." Definitely. Definitely. Someone else left a comment saying, he wants his side girl. He comes back for a few days and so he needs some amusement. That's kind of, yeah, harsh, but probably accurate. Someone else left a comment saying, he's not dating her, he's screwing her. He knows she's a side piece and has no respect for her, but he expects you to wait. Ignore him. He deserves this worthless, sleeping around with trash life. Indeed. Someone else left a comment saying, wow, he's arrogance personified, isn't he? Give me a couple weeks and I'll be your man again. Who wants to be second choice and God knows where his dick has been. Have you been to an STD test, OP? Just carry on blocking him. He'll get tired eventually and do not respond to emotional blackmail. He's a cake eater, a vile man. OP replied saying, I did have an STD test, 2 at the beginning and 1 recently just in case with his affair. But I remember at the beginning of the relationship he didn't want to have one, and I should have known this was a red flag because I had to ask him multiple times. But yeah, I can confirm he's a vile man. Indeed. Someone else has left a comment saying, forward his text/email to her and tell her to tell her boyfriend to stop harassing you. Seriously though, this guy is a douche. Please don't give him the time of day again. Someone replied saying, I did this, and not only did he lose me, he lost his soulmate side cheese too. He was left with no one. Insert sad mime face, laughing emoji. OP replied saying, when he was telling me to wait 2 weeks for him and this girl was just a girl to pass time, I sent the screenshot to her. I told her that I knew about the affair, but even so, he was using her as well as a distraction. She never replied to me, but saw the message. On the contrary, she ran back to him. And not even a week after he posted her on Instagram. Yeah, she probably was holding him by the balls at that point. I'm not sure about sending her. If she's from his workplace, she had a lot more leverage and so has probably, dug an elbow into him to get him to post her on Instagram and so on. She thinks she's one, but in reality, she's just got a wooden spoon. Let's continue. I'm not sure about sending her the screenshot again since she didn't care the first time and I told her he was a jerk and it's her problem now. I don't think she would care about it since he chose her. Someone replied saying, wow, their relationship sounds fantastic. In all seriousness, I have nothing except unblock him and put him on blast on Instagram with the whole sordid details laid out and tag him in it. Threaten him with a restraining order or just keep blocking him. Maybe try changing your phone number. He's choosing her simply because he has no other options. Yeah, definitely. Right. What do you think OP should do? What would you have done in OP's shoes? Let me know in the comments. Apologies for interrupting the video, but as it turns out, only about 12.5% of my viewers are actually subscribed. It would really help out the channel if you hit the subscribe button. Thank you very much. Alrighty, OP has written an update post titled, Update, my ex cheated on me and left me for this girl, but keeps harassing me. And they write, hi, it's been a while, but I promised an update and oh boy, a lot has happened during that time. I'm sorry, it's going to be super long. To summarize quickly my first post, my ex of almost 5 years cheated on me with a coworker who knew he had a girlfriend, and the truth is they went official just 5 days after I discovered everything. He told me. Since then, a lot has happened. My ex did continue to send me emails, but I just put everything in my spam and didn't read anything. But one night, I received many phone calls from a new French number, and maybe I'm naive, but I didn't think it could have been him because just the week before he tried to call me with a phone number from the country where he works now. But I responded this time thinking it was something important, and yep, it was him. He begged me not to hang up the phone while he was crying, telling me how much he is lonely and unhappy, how much he misses me and how much he loves me. I was pretty angry at that time, just asking him how he can change his phone number again, and why he was still trying to reach out to me despite being in a relationship with this girl. He avoids the matter and was just complaining about his lonely life. So I told him to go cry in his girlfriend's arms, and he responded with, it's not the same, you're the one I love. And at that moment I heard a noise, so I asked him what it was and he told me maybe I should just hang up the phone, she's asleep in the room. I don't want to wake her up and see me on the phone crying. I went berserk and I hung up. Like, how could you tell me you miss me and love me while she's asleep in your bed? The audacity. Yeah, quite. A few weeks later, around the end of August, I saw him randomly in our country. I froze and he started crying, but I think it was an emotional reaction coming from him. I'll save you some time. He told me the same bullshit that he told me on the phone, but he told me things that disgusted me. Things like, she's boring, she doesn't know how to have a proper conversation, she's immature in some ways, her mum is crazy and she's always speaking about God. He even made fun of his girlfriend because for his birthday, she sent him a message in French. She used the translator, but still. And because, it's kind of cute, because she said something like God is with you in French, he judged her, making fun of her faith. Nice, he sounds lovely. And I told him he was disgusting. Like, you don't even respect her and even her mum and their faith. Not even me. By the end of the day, he kissed me before leaving me and told me the fact that he wanted to kill himself. The kiss meant nothing to me, and it took me by surprise, even if, yeah, I didn't think of anything at the moment, but then I realized I was done, disgusted, and I was the girl he kissed while being in a relationship with somebody else, and I felt guilty in some ways. I don't know why, but him telling me that he was thinking about death every day made me worried to the point where I told everything to his parent, telling them it was not my responsibility to take care of him, but I didn't want to see him in a few months that he killed himself. And even if he was lying to me now, he will have to deal with his parent with this behavior. Even if I'm disgusted by him, I still cared for the man I used to know, and I hate to tell this, but if I didn't see him crying that day, I would have been far, far away from him. Before I had time to sigh in peace, his dad called me a few days later, telling me that his son told him that he was the happiest he had been since July when he saw me, and his son was still in love with me, and he knew deep down that I'm the one for him. If I'm honest with you, I was nonchalant, because to me, it was like too much to handle. Like, why are you telling your dad that I'm the one you still love, but you're still with the girl you cheated on me with? I'm not saying that I'll go back to him because it doesn't make sense to me, except that he slept with her for some validation because he's selfish and doesn't want to be by himself and face himself in the mirror. He's still going out with her while trying to get me back. And I mean, I got my answer because his son was still sending me countless emails telling me shit like, I don't want to post pictures with her, but she's forcing me to do so. I know I love you. Yeah, so I called that. I know I love you. I know you're the one for me, but understand me, I can't be alone physically. He insisted on this word, like physically, not emotionally, in this country, and I don't want to end up alone while having all these thoughts about death. You're my soulmate and you'll always be my number one. I'll always choose you no matter what. Even if you block me, I'll find you in the near future. I love you and no matter what, even if I change my mind every day. Like one day he loves her and one day he loves me. His words. But even those words don't make any sense. You can't love and unlove someone every day. During September, he was still blocked except on WhatsApp, because I was worried he might really die. But that doesn't stop him from sending me countless messages telling me how he loves me. He was sorry, asking me to go on holiday with him. Yeah, I would not do that. He sounds a bit loopy. You're asking to be 6 foot under after that holiday, to be honest, or during it. I never respond, and I knew he knew that I care, so I just blocked him again, and by that time, because I didn't answer all his messages, instead of, I don't know, now being mature, he tried to get me jealous by telling me he was going to be friends with her, like that she can meet his parents. Later, his dad told me that my ex didn't really want her to meet his parents, since he's not so sure about his relationship with her. I think he just tried to hurt my feelings, but now he has to assume the consequences of his immaturity. Yeah, he does. Oh yeah, he broke up with her because she was constantly sneaking in his phone while he was asleep and trying to make him jealous by showing him she can have anybody. It happens before he asked her to go to Paris, but she went back to him 2 days after because both of them can't be by themselves. And since then, she's learning French and is trying to impress him. She's trying to become a mini him by doing everything he likes, but he was still trying to get to me. At the beginning of October, I called him and asked him to stop before I'll complain. It was my last straw. I was getting emotionally tired of him, his parents calling me, and I couldn't grieve correctly. I was tired of him sending me that he loves me and that he needs her physically, and I told him to free me and let me be in peace. Do you know what he responded? No, I can't let you go. I don't want to have regrets later if you leave. But I laughed and told him it was already too late. Since July, he had to bear the consequences of his actions. That he can lie to her however he wants, but I'm not going to be his side chick or whatever he's trying to do with me since 3 months. He asked me if I'm allowed to send him a last message, and I said, yeah. I don't know what I was expecting, but he told me, and I quote, I'm mad at you for not coming earlier. I'm mad at you because you didn't try and stop me cheating on you. I'm mad because now I have to live with this life I don't even like, and maybe that's my punishment and I have to contend myself with her. Like, if I have to die, I want you to spread my ashes and be by my side. I don't trust her. Like, huh? Put the blame on me again, sure. I called his dad to let him know I was done and that he doesn't have to contact me again, but ironically, I still know what's going on. They gave me too much information before I could contact. I know she's in France right now, meeting his family, and nobody is telling her that their son, brother, nephew is telling his ex-girlfriend and his parents that he's still in love with me, harassing me, and that he's using her for pleasure because he doesn't want to be alone. I know it seems surreal and it's hard for me to explain everything correctly in English, but I swear I have all the screenshots, everything, and it's hard to realize that the guy I loved for 5 years is this monster in disguise. Like, did I even know him? Was I this naive? Who are you? I don't know, I'm trying not to blame myself and be grateful that I had this chance to see the reality and be glad that I dodged a huge bullet, but it's hard to face the truth because it's a constant conflict between my head and my heart, because there's still a part of me thinking that they are happy while having all of this disgusting proof in the world. There was an idiom in French by Blaise Pascal who said, "Le cœur raisonne que la raison ne connaît point." I apologize for that. I'm sure it was very wrong. The heart has its reasons that reason doesn't know. And that's where I'm standing right now. I'm not sure if there will be a new update because I really want to free myself from all of this, and I'm trying to live a life of ignorance about him. But even if they are still together and pretend to be happy, they aren't, and I'm trying to persuade myself to move on and stop caring. Because why would I want to have what they have? No thanks. Thanks for reading me, and sorry my English is a second language. To be fair, well done. This is a lot, especially to write that in a second language. Tricky. Well, not really. It's tricky for him because he's set himself up to fail. But OP, you're doing the exact right thing. Just block and move on. And I would, to be honest, it's not really your problem. He left you. That's the end of it. He left you, not you leaving him, as much as he's trying to persuade you that that's what's happening. No, he's left you. And to be honest, his family are kind of disgusting as well for trying to still keep you roped into it, trying to guilt trip you by having an ongoing relationship with the guy's dad. I don't know, that's wrong to me. It's like, just let her go. Let OP go. Oh, it's kind of gross. But he set himself up a failure here. And he does, like you say, like he says, need to, you know, deal with the consequences of his actions. Gross behavior. Right, let's see what the community says. Someone's left a comment saying, "Send her all the text messages. Free yourself and free her too." Someone replied saying, this is what you do. To be honest, at this point, well, I guess there's not really any harm in it, but I don't think it would make much difference other than she's going to become even more psychopathic with him, which he probably already is. So maybe it is the right thing to do. Just like trap him in his own spider web. Someone left a comment saying, "My God, your ex is pathetic." Technically his family is as well. Preach. Seems like your ex and his girlfriend deserve each other and each other's punishment for their past behavior. I hope you find someone worthy of you who treats you with respect. Someone else left a comment saying, "It's time to block all access from his family now and focus on yourself." Someone else left a comment saying, "Do yourself a favor and block everyone and be done. Move on. Stop communicating, get out, and meet someone that will actually love and value you." Someone else left a comment saying, "I don't understand why you're so interested in his drama. How does it benefit you to have detailed information about his love life?" I don't think, maybe this person's fully understood the post here. I don't think she's, I don't think OP is actively searching this information. I think it's more like the affair partner, through the threat of topping themselves, is trying to keep OP in the loop. And then through osmosis, she's learning a bunch of other information, which is not ideal. But yeah, OP, you do what the comments say. Block him, get rid of all of it. And if anything, just change your number. And then, if you can, change email, but obviously I understand that one's a bit more awkward to do. And, yeah, it's tricky. Tricky. So, what do you think OP should do? What would you do in OP's shoes? Let me know in the comments. As always, if you appreciate these videos and want to see more, make sure to hit the subscribe button. That way you won't miss the latest upload. Alrighty, we'll have to finish there. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.